Sakafet YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you a compilation of my favorite rice dishes. Darlings, it's so nice to have you back here in my kitchen. Guys, for this recipe I'm using this beef skirt steak, and as you can see I'm gonna be slicing it against the grain, and I don't want to do too thick of some strips, but you know, just have it nice and thin, as this will help for it to cook easily. And then once it's all sliced up, I'm gonna go ahead and just rinse it with some lemon juice and cool water, and then we're gonna season it up. Now, one trick that I will share with you is that I actually pushed my beef into the freezer for about 30 minutes before I sliced it up, and I find this works so much better than trying to slice the beef at room temperature. So if you want to slice this easily, pop it into the freezer for a little bit and it will slice evenly. So I'm gonna go ahead and then tap it dry with a paper towel, and then we're gonna season it using just a little drop of oil to keep it nice and juicy. And here I am cleaning as I go again. I'm also gonna add some black pepper, salt, some honey, and a little bit of oyster sauce, and then I'm gonna add just a splash of soy sauce, nothing too much, and some baking soda, as this will help to really tenderize it and keep it nice and yummy. So yes, darlings, give it a good mix, and then you want to set it to one side to just marinate for about 5-10 minutes. Okay, now once it's all seasoned, I'm gonna work on my onions. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop my onions up, and then I'm gonna chop up my broccoli. And listen, you can add whatever you want in this, but these are the two key ingredients. I'm also gonna grate some garlic and ginger later on, but once ever everything is nicely prepped, this is literally go time. So simple and easy to do. So in a clean pan, I went in with some butter, and then I'm gonna go in with my beef and allow it to cook for about 6 to 8 minutes, or until it's no longer red and pink. And you just want to let it cook without interfering with it, so about 3-4 minutes, and then you want to mix it in, and then I just want all of the liquid to fry up and dry up as well. And yes, darlings, once it's no longer pink and it looks something like this is where you're gonna go in and add in your onions, add in your broccoli, and then you just want to mix it in well. Now I will say that I actually went ahead and put my broccoli to soak in some hot water, because I'm gonna let it just cook enough that it's nice and crunchy, but I find that the hot water sort of helps to start the process off. At this point, I'm going in with some garlic and ginger. This is some freshly grated garlic and ginger that I had. And yes, darlings, I'm gonna add my broccoli, then I'll mix it in well, add in my cooked rice, then I'm gonna add in my sauce, and make sure to check down below for all of the ingredients that I used in this yummy dish. Once everything is fully combined, I'm gonna add in some sesame oil just to finish it off and mix it in well till you know you're satisfied. And I'm gonna top it with some freshly chopped green onion, and this is literally it. Guys, this was so good. The beef was so juicy and tender. You know I will never stay you wrong, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and plate some up while this is hot, because yeah, I don't want to even leave the kitchen without having some. So I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. Try it soon. Let me know if you like it. It's been a pleasure having you here in my kitchen. And believe me, the Chinese takeout has got nothing on this. Hello, my darlings. Let's jump straight into this rice recipe. In a pot, I went in with a generous amount of oil, followed by some of my homemade green seasoning, about a heaping 3 to 4 tablespoons. Make sure to check down below in the description box for a link to that recipe for the green seasoning. You want to let it saute for about a minute or two before going in with your sachet or sazon. I actually got mine from St. Lucia when I was there over the summer last year. Every time I go home, I always stock up on all of these lovely seasonings that I love so much that I can't seem to get in the UK. So yes, add in your sazon, the entire pack, and then you want to mix it in well before going in with your washed rice and all of your other seasonings. And make sure to check down below in the description box for all of the ingredients that I'm using today. Once my washed rice had been mixed in, I went in with a little garlic pepper and a little of my Spice Jamaica Reggae Blend seasoning, and I added enough water so that the rice could be covered. Then I put the heat on low and put the lid on and let that simmer on low for about 15 minutes or so. It doesn't take too long to cook. This is basmati rice. You can use whatever rice of your choice, but yes, I mixed it in well, checked for salt. I put a little bit of thyme and a Scotch bonnet in there before I covered it up. And yes, darlings, don't forget a little butter in there. That's optional, but just a little butter will take it up a little level. And then you want to let it steam on low for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes or so, you want to go ahead and fluff up the rice. It wasn't fully cooked as yet, so I gave it a nice little fluff, covered it up for another 5 minutes or so, and then it was ready. The rice recipe is so simple. As you can see, guys, you can make this with your eyes closed. It's literally beginner friendly. Anyone can make this. I really hope you enjoy this quick salsa rice recipe. As you know, I've been giving the videos back to back. I've been sharing everything I've been making in my kitchen with you guys, so you too can take it to your own kitchen. It's been a pleasure having you here in my kitchen, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Hello, my darlings. It's so nice to have you back here in my kitchen for yet another amazing recipe. I found the shrimp in my freezer and I thought, you know what, let's whip up something quick. So I've gone ahead and cleaned and deveined my shrimp and pat it dry using a paper towel. And now I'm going to season it using my Spice Jamaica Reggae Blend seasoning, some of his garlic and herb. I love these two seasonings. I'm also going to add in a little black pepper, paprika, some garlic salt, and I'm going to give that a really good mix and set it to one side to marinate for about 10 minutes. So to a pan, I went in with some oil, not too much, and I'm going to pan fry my shrimp for about 2 to 3 minutes, giving it about a minute or so on either side. Once it's all cooked, I'm going to remove it from the pan and set it aside on a plate, and then I'm going to saute my bell peppers and my mixed vegetables. Season it lightly, of course, with a little mixed herbs, all-purpose, whatever you want really. Put whatever you want in this, customize it, make it yours. And yes, darling, this is so self-explanatory. I'm just going to let you watch the video. Once my veggies were cooked, you don't want to let it get too mushy. I went in with my day-old rice that I had in the fridge. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of this sweet hoisin sauce. You can add some oyster sauce and soy sauce if you have any. Give that a really good mix. Listen, you want to mix for dear life, okay? And then we're gonna go back in and add in our shrimp. Once our shrimp goes back in, yes darlings, you can top it off with a little sesame oil. I love the flavor of roasted sesame oil. If you're allergic, you can leave it out. Listen, it's definitely optional. And then we're gonna top it off with some freshly chopped spring onions as well for that fresh, nice flavor. Listen, as you can see, this is so simple to put together. So I really hope you enjoy this recipe. Try it soon. Let me know what you think about it. It has been a pleasure having you here in my kitchen, of course, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Hello my darlings, it's so nice to have you back here in my kitchen for yet another amazing recipe. Today we're making my gorgeous fried rice. So here I am prepping all of my ingredients. This is gonna be my bell peppers in all colors that I had in my fridge, some onions as well, and then I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my chicken breast fillet that I had in the fridge as well. Believe you when I say that I literally went through my fridge and I thought, you know what, I'm coming up with an amazing recipe with some ingredients that I have in my fridge already. So once this is all sliced up, you want to go ahead and set it to one side because we're going to go ahead and clean it in some lemon juice and vinegar, and then we're going to season it up straight away after washing it up. Okay, now to season it, you can use whatever you have on hand. So I'll add a little salt, a little paprika, a little mixed herbs, and possibly some all-purpose seasoning, a drop of oil to get things going and give it a really good mix. Now I also had a little bit of lamb chops that I did in a lamb chop video yesterday, and I also cut off some of that extra meat on it, and instead of throwing it away, I was like, you know what, we're gonna add it to that fried rice. So I went ahead and I seasoned it up with the same ingredients like what I seasoned the chicken. Just a little pinch of salt, mixed herbs, paprika, you know the works. Give that a good mix, and then you want to set it to one side. Now that everything is prepped, you're literally gonna put this fried rice together, and when I tell you, this is so simple to do. So to a pan, go ahead and add in a little oil, and then you want to go ahead and fry your lamb pieces. This should take no more than 5 minutes, okay? Now you can use any pieces of meat or beef or whatever you have. Honestly, like I said, this was just some lamb that I had, and I just diced it up because, you know, I wanted to make this fried rice spectacular. So once it's cooked, I'm not going to remove it from the pan. I'm going to leave it on the side and go ahead and cook my chicken on the other side. And then once the chicken was cooked, you want to go ahead and combine everything together. And listen guys, once you start going when it comes to fried rice, before you know it, you're literally at the finishing point. However, once my chicken and my lamb was cooked, I removed it from the pan. I added a little bit of oil, sauteed my veggies, my mixed herbs and everything. I did season it lightly. Be sure to check down below in the description box for all of the ingredients that I used. And yes my love, I don't want to talk too much. I'm just gonna allow you to watch the video because it's so self-explanatory and just so good. Now that all my ingredients have been added to the pan, guys, I know you can see how amazing this looks. This fried rice is giving 5 stars. This fried rice is giving assorted. This fried rice is giving I love my life. Honestly, it was just giving so much. Like, it was so good. And I topped it off with some spring onions. I chopped that up well. You know, it's gonna add that nice little freshness and all that good stuff. And honestly, it was just everything. So I really hope you enjoy the recipe. Try it soon. Let me know what you think about it. It has been a pleasure having you here. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content back to back. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hello my darlings, it's so nice to have you back here in my kitchen. My rice and peas recipe literally starts from the night before, where I soak my peas overnight till it's nice and soft. I drain it off and then I add it to a pot with about 4 to 6 cups of water. I also add in some of my yummy green seasoning. I shared the recipe a few days ago, and this is literally all I do to my rice and peas at the start, okay? Don't add any salt in this because my granny said that the salt prolongs the cook time, so I like to just boil it with some seasonings first, and then once my peas is nice and soft, which takes about an hour to an hour and a half, because guess what, because the peas were soaked overnight, it cooks so much quicker. Okay, so you can know it's cooked by squeezing one of the pea grains in between your finger. And yes, I'm gonna season it now with some salt, all-purpose seasoning, a little bit of allspice, add 1 spoon more of green seasoning, 1 Scotch bonnet pepper. Then I go in with my coconut milk, which is 91% coconut. Beautiful. I get this from Lidl. This is not sponsored. I just love the coconut milk and I have been loving it for the past few years. After giving it a good mix, I like to cover it up, let it boil for about 10-15 minutes while I wash my rice. The rice I'm using today is basmati rice. I like jasmine rice, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna go ahead and wash my rice. I like to wash my rice about 2 to 3 times, and this is literally how I do it. I like to just wash it in my fingers like that, drain off the water, and then you want to go ahead and add your rice to the pot. At this point, you can just taste it, adjust. This doesn't need anything, okay? I don't like my rice and peas to be salty or nothing like that. Full of flavor, but not salty, okay? Add some thyme. Add in your rice, give it a good mix. Of course, as you can see, it's looking beautiful. Then I pop the lid on and then I just let that do its thing on low for about 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't take that much time to cook. So good. Such an easy recipe to follow. So after about 15 to 20 minutes, look at that. My goodness, guys, I wish YouTube had smell-o-vision because it smells so good. Wow, so yummy. I'm gonna fluff it up and then I'm gonna remove my Scotch bonnet pepper, remove the thyme. If you added any spring onions in yours, just go ahead and remove all of that extra little seasoning that you put in there, because no one wants a big piece of thyme on their plate, right? I'm gonna go ahead with my little bowl and take a little bit, because trust me, if the rice and peas is not tasty enough that you can just sit down with a bowl and eat it by itself, then I don't want it, okay? Hello my darlings, it's so nice to have you back here in my kitchen for yet another amazing recipe. Today we're making some dirty rice. So here I've got my ingredients. As you can see, everything on screen. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my bell peppers and onions, and then we're gonna jump straight into it. Now that all my prep was done, we're jumping straight into it. In a pan, go ahead and add in some oil, and I'm gonna add in my mince. Okay, I'm not using much mince today. I did run it under some cool water and squeeze some lime juice on top and get rid of all that blood and everything that it's soaking in. And yes, darlings, I'm gonna brown it in my pan. Keep your heat on high for a good 3 to 4 minutes. Basically, you want to brown this on all sides, okay? Once it's all browned, you want to use a paper towel and just use that to dab on all the excess grease and everything that's gonna come out of it. And yes, darlings, we're gonna get straight into seasoning. Once I've added in my peppers and onions and let it saute for a good 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going in with a heaping tablespoon or 3 of my homemade green seasoning. I will leave the link down below for you to try it and make it. This is packed with so much flavor from onion, garlic, ginger, everything in it, okay? I'm also gonna add in some freshly cracked black pepper, going with some mixed herbs, which is a mixture of marjoram, thyme, basil, and parsley. I'm also adding in my Spice Jamaica Reggae Blend seasoning. Any all-purpose seasoning will do. And then I'm gonna add this sachet of sazon. We love the sazon in there. So much flavor. And notice how I'm not using any salt, because everything I'm using has a little something in there, and you don't want this to be salty. However, you can always just taste and adjust to your preference, okay? Now, once it's all mixed in, as you can see, this is already looking amazing. I'm now gonna go ahead and add in my washed rice and give it a really good mix as well. But first, let's add in a little bit of tomato paste. Not much, about a teaspoon or 2. It's optional, but I find it gives it a beautiful flavor and color too. And then we're gonna add in our washed rice. Once my rice is in, give that a good mix, guys. I know you can see how amazing this looks, right? Whew, so meaty and so delicious. And bear in mind, this is raw still. The rice is not even cooked and it looks so good. After giving it a good mix, you want to go in with your vegetable stock, about 3-4 cups of that stock, enough to cover up that rice, my darlings. Taste and adjust one final time before going back in with the lid of that pot, and you want to let it steam on low for about 10-15 minutes according to your rice cooking instructions. And yes, see all that steam? This is where the magic happens. After about 10-15 minutes, I've uncovered it, and whew, guys, you should smell my kitchen. I swear my neighbors wanted to come and knock on the door because this was smelling so good and it tasted even better. I'm gonna go ahead and garnish it with some freshly chopped green chilies, and yes, darlings, for that extra little crunch, whew, I know you'll love it. So I really hope you enjoy the recipe. Try it soon. Let me know what you think about it. This dish is a one-pan wonder. This dish, definitely a winner. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna plate up some because the hubby is on standby and this man is ready to taste, ready to dive in. Again, thank you for watching, my darlings. Don't forget to purchase my new cookbook, Bon Manger. Bon Manger translates to good food in St. Lucian Creole, and this cookbook is basically a little taste of St. Lucian and Caribbean cuisine. It's packed with recipes. Packed, I mean 50 plus. But all these lovely recipes. Gorgeous, and it's literally only $24.99. You can click the link down below in the description box if you'd like to purchase my book. And guys, once again, thank you so much for all of your support, to all of you who've been purchasing my book, to all of you who have it already. Honestly, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.